Coming up on Inside Education, it's healthcare for students by students. We'll take a look at one area high school's health clinic program. Also, we'll talk to a 16-year-old who has said enough is enough, and she's fighting to bring the end to a popular dress fad. And as one school year ends, officials say it's never too early to start preparing for your child's education. These stories and more are next. You're watching Inside Education. Hi, and welcome to Inside Education, the show that takes you inside the classroom to show you what's happening in Mobile County Public Schools. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Helena Tyler. With the current school year coming to a close, Mobile County Public Schools is now focusing its attention on the upcoming school year, as they are encouraging parents to register their child early through the district's online registration. All students who are planning on attending a public school this fall must pre-register. School system officials say online registration is an effort to help make registration more efficient and less time-consuming for parents. Here to tell us more about the program is Executive Director of Student Support Services, Mr. Terrence Mixon. Thank you for joining us today, Mr. Mixon. Mr. Mixon, I know the school district has made it easier to register students by going online. Where do they go from here? Explain that to us.
Online registration now has been a process we've used for approximately 5 to 6 years, and the whole idea and objective is to make it easier for parents to register their students. If you go to www.mcpss.com, there's a link for online registration where all parents, new and returning, can go to register their students. There still will be a need to go to the school, but this process, this initial step, will take the place of the long waits that you would normally have waiting in line at school to register, and you can go ahead and get some of the information regarding your school online as well.
Does it take much time to register?
It doesn't take much time to register at all. We have two sections, new students and returning students. Returning students simply update their information that's already located in their files. New students, parents must go in and input their demographic information, their address, their age, date of birth, etc. That takes a little longer, but it's still a much more streamlined process than the days of old paper registration.
What are the benefits of registering now instead of waiting until right before school starts?
Well, the benefits of registering now instead of waiting till when school starts, first and foremost, is the amount of time that's saved. In most occasions, parents would not have to go to the school to fill out the initial paperwork. If they take care of everything in online registration, both for new and returning students, when parents arrive at the school, all they would need to do is get their students' schedules or perhaps pick up their textbooks. Now they can even pay their fees online and not have to go to the school for that. So the biggest benefit is the amount of time that's saved. And then also, if the kids are already in the computer, when it's time for their schedules to be done, it gives more time for the counselors to look over the students' academic records and ensure that the proper courses are being taken.
And thank you for joining us today, Mr. Mixon. For more registration information, you can visit the Mobile County Public Schools website at mcpss.com. What better way to learn about history than to hear it from a man who was there himself? Civil rights icon, activist, author, and congressional leader. Mr. John Lewis visited LaFleur High School recently. He told students in the Pre-Law Academy what it was like to march from Selma to Montgomery with Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and how nervous he was being the youngest person to speak during the March on Washington.
And you're never too young to do something. You're never too young. Many of the people that were involved in the civil rights movement were young high school students, young college students. They were brave and courageous. They stood up, they spoke up, and they spoke out. Some of us were arrested, beaten, But we're learning a great deal, and we're very proud to see the changes that have occurred all across America. Our country's a much better country because of the involvement of so many young people.
It was fitting that Congressman Lewis visited LaFleur, which is named for Mobile civil rights leader John L. LaFleur. Are you tired of seeing boys wearing their pants sagging below their waist? Well, Morgan McCain was, and she decided to do something about it. She stepped up and she spoke up. The 16-year-old Citronelle High School student started an organization to bring attention to the low pants wearing fad in an effort to get them pulled up. Our Kenya Anuwula has that story.
Citronelle High School student Morgan McCain has found one of her missions in life and is tackling a big problem: sagging pants.
A group of guys walked by me, my mom, and my sister when we were at Chick-fil-A in the mall, and I told my mom that I hate sagging. I told her that I just don't like seeing it at all. And she said, well, if you don't like seeing it so much, how about you do something about it? And I was like, okay, I will.
So McCain created GABS, Girls Against Boys Sagging. The group sells t-shirts and sponsors empowerment talks with the goal of encouraging classmates to make better clothing choices. McCain says the group is open to anyone, but it's targeted toward women in order to take advantage of the power of peer pressure.
I believe, as my dad told me, that the top two things that men love the most is money and women. And if you use one against them, they're bound to do something or change something.
GABS has its own website, its own Facebook page, and its own hashtag, #PullEmUp. McCain's father, Howard, says the group, which Morgan first started in 2013, is starting to take off.
She does have a lot of followers. A lot of people are really paying really close attention to what's going on with this movement, and it's slowly, in baby steps, it's starting to really spread.
So what is Morgan's advice if you see a boy with sagging pants?
I really go up and ask them nicely and say, hey, can you please pull your pants up? I really don't like seeing that. And 98% of the time they do it.
Reporting for Inside Education, I'm Kenya Onukwalai.
Anyone interested in learning more about the Girls Against Boys sagging group or purchasing a t-shirt can visit its website at gabsmovement.com. According to the Mobile County Public School Handbook, wearing pants below the waist is against the uniform policy. All students enrolled in the public schools are expected to adhere to the basic standards of cleanliness, modesty, pride, good judgment in their clothing, and good grooming. It's time for a commercial break, but when we come back, we'll take you to a culinary kitchen showdown and introduce you to the school's top chef. Stay with us. You're watching Inside Education.
I started off at Fondy Elementary, then I went to Azalea Middle School, and then Davidson High School for my high school years. The Mobile County Public School system prepared me for my career by showing me why it was so important to give back. I am involved with the Big Brother Big Sister program, and I've been paired with a young boy that was in the 3rd grade and is now finishing up the 4th grade, and it gives me an opportunity to give back and help mentor him.
It is an exciting time of change in the world of education, where technology is being used to engage our learners. And here in the Mobile County Public Schools, we're embracing those changes and moving forward into this new era of learning. It's our vision to be the premier educational system where students engage in multiple pathways, leading to success in a global society. Education for the future. It starts with us.
Baker High School swept top honors in the 2016 Golden Spoon Culinary Competition. The 4th annual event, sponsored by Virginia College in Mobile and Golden Corral, gave culinary students from several Mobile County high schools a chance to display the skills they've learned in the classroom. Each team was tasked with preparing an appetizer, entree, and dessert in 2 hours using pre-selected ingredients. This year's secret ingredient, which wasn't revealed to the team until a week before the competition, was rutabaga.
The students involved in this program have two great outcomes. One is the competition. They love the competition and taking those skills they've learned in the classroom and showcasing them in a head-to-head competition. But probably one of the things they're more excited about is scholarship opportunities. The winners receive scholarships to Virginia College so they can continue in their culinary experience and go on and perhaps go into college and go into the culinary world as a professional.
Baker won both the judge competition and a Facebook campaign. Davidson finished second and Alma Bryant was third in the judge competition, while Murphy was second and Bryant third in the Facebook campaign. Students from 3 Mobile County high schools also took top honors in another recent cooking competition, the annual Beef, Pork, and Peanuts Cook-Off. Alexis Williams of Viger won the peanut category with her Asian chicken wraps with Thai peanut sauce. Citronelle's Caitlin Williams won the pork category with her pecan-coated pork tenderloin with pear chutney. In the beef category, Murphy's Charlie Pullman took first place with his beef Wellington. Contestants were asked to develop their own recipes and their dishes prepared ahead of time. And they were judged on presentation, nutritional value, taste, ease of preparation, and adherence to safe guidelines. Winners advanced to state-level competition. And Mobile County Schools is again starting a first of its kind. The public school has opened an in-school health care clinic at LaFleur High School. Our Miasha Taylor had the opportunity to visit the school. She now joins us to tell us all about the clinic and how it works.
Thanks, Alina. The first thing that school officials want to stress is, although this is a health clinic, it is not open to the general public. What they are hoping for is that the clinic will increase on-campus access to medical and preventative services for students. Now, those involved with the clinic say it does not want to substitute as a regular doctor's office for the students, but more so serve as an evaluation center for minor ailments. Mobile County Public Schools and the University of South Alabama have formed a partnership to create the Student Health Services Center at LaFleur High School. Doctors and residents from USA will staff the center, serving students and mentoring others who hope to train for careers in the healthcare field. LaFleur healthcare science instructor Kathy Shelton says South Alabama got involved by giving physicals to athletes. They soon found, however, that there was an even greater need.
We started doing physicals and we found that a lot of our students have problems with diabetes and hypertension that they were not even aware of. So we want to do some education on that as well so that we can try to help with some of the healthcare disparities that we see in our population of students.
Dr. Michael Linder, professor of family medicine at South Alabama, said the desire to address those needs ultimately resulted in the partnership that created the health clinic.
And our idea is that if we catch these kids and treat them early on with these symptoms, we're going to prevent problems later on showing up with these kids and get them some health care that they might not otherwise have access to.
The clinic will also provide learning opportunities for students.
We've learned personal qualities of a healthcare professional, and we've learned soft skills, how to talk to people, how to know exactly how to speak to patients, and just knowing how to work in the environment and know how to structure yourself well and present yourself to adults.
LaFleur currently offers a certified nursing assistance program at the school. And for the students in that program, this allows them the chance to work side by side with healthcare professionals. And Helena, the best thing about the clinic is all the services and evaluations offered here are free of charge. The participating doctors and residents all volunteer their times and services. And for the students, it's a learning opportunity.
Thank you, Miasha, for that report. The center is part of LaFleur's Law, Arts, and Health Services Signature Academy. About 4 dozen educators from around the state and the Gulf Coast region visited Mobile recently to learn more about Mobile County Public Schools' innovative Signature Academies. The Signature Academy Conference was held last month at the Renaissance Riverview Plaza Hotel. All 12 Mobile County high schools have Signature Academies, which prepare students for a variety of careers. feels through hands-on learning opportunities and mentorships by local business partners in the featured industries. Conference attendees visited signature academies at BC Rain, Williamson, Elma Bryant, and Theodore High Schools, and also heard from Mobile County educators and business partners about how the academies were implemented and how they benefit students and the community. One of his final public appearances before retirement, State Education Superintendent Dr. Tommy Bice delivered the keynote address at the conference. Bice encouraged teachers and administrators to challenge the status quo and look for innovative ways and new ways to educate their students. We just talked about the signature academies, and now joining me is the coordinator for Mobile County Public School System, Mrs. Christy July. Welcome to the show, Mrs. July. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. What kind of feedback did you get from the educators at this conference?
We received very positive feedback. The educators were excited to see our students so engaged and knowledgeable, as well as to see the community invested within our classrooms, and to see that collaboration between post-secondary institutions and business and industry with our instructors here in high school, our local high schools.
And tell us right into that, we want to know if parents would like to have their child attend, or if a student would like to attend, how do they enroll? Give us the process here.
Well, 8th graders are eligible to apply for an academy that they are not zoned to attend. That process starts November 1st of this upcoming year and will run through February 28th. And so that application can be found online at Mobile County's website. And during that time, students have the opportunity to tour various high schools that they may be interested in. We'll also offer an Academy Showcase, which is a one-stop shop for parents and students. We hold it at the Mitchell Center. It will be November 1st from 5 to 7 p.m. And parents and students of 8th graders, we encourage them to come out, meet the teachers, the students, and business and industry that's partnered with our schools. And they also get a chance to talk to other services such as transportation, student services in one location.
Okay. This is so exciting to me, just learning about the academies. Every time I look into the Mobile Public School System and I hear people talking, they're talking about these wonderful academies. So we've just ended a school year, and let's look at last year and what we have forward to look at the next school year.
Well, the great thing about this past school year is that all 12 of our high schools were actually on board offering career academies to all of the students. And so next year we're looking forward to adding more business and industry partners. We're looking to continue to grow our relationships with our current partners and to offer our students more engaging, real-world, hands-on assignments and activities within their classes. So our business and industry partners are amazing. They're in our schools every day, helping our students to see the relevance and build those relationships with them so that they know how what they're learning now applies to their future.
Thank you so much for your hard work, and we look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you.
About 30 educators from around the state visited Mobile for another recent conference, this one examining the Talent Unlimited program. Developed in Mobile 4 decades ago, Talent Unlimited is a teaching model that promotes higher order thinking and creativity, engages all types of learners. Conference attendees visited 4 schools that serve as demonstration sites for the program. Talent Unlimited is now utilized in school systems across the country and the world. All Mobile County elementary schools have at least one classroom utilizing the program. And students at Ella Grant Elementary now have a reason to jump for joy, or should I say slide for joy. The school recently dedicated its new state-of-the-art playground. The maids of the playground equipment include circular slides, climbing and spinning pieces, and swings. The hopes of the new playground is not only to help keep kids' body healthy, but to also keep their minds healthy as well.
Our students are excited about their new additions to playing as well as in the classroom. We've seen a massive increase in our test scores. They're engaged in learning, and we're doing great.
The funding for the new 2,500 square foot playground was made possible by Mobile County District 1 Commissioner Merceria Ludgood and Mobile County School Board Commissioner Dr. Reginald Crenshaw. Up next on Inside Education, we will give you the results of this year's HiQ competition. And we have some information on how you can help your child get a jump start on their education. We'll be right back.
I have a lot of great memories from high school, some great experiences. Just being in the Shaw Band was a great experience. With the leadership in my schools, I always felt like they were very passionate about what they were doing. They cared about their calling to teach and to lead the schools. I always felt like they cared about me as a student and my classmates, and they wanted to see us do well and succeed. The relationships that were formed during those years are what impacted me the most, and I would just like to say thank you.
A team from Davidson High School won this year's HiQ Championship, bouncing back from an early loss to defeat Alma Bryant and McGill-Tulane in the final. HiQ is an academic competition that features set topics in a variety of subjects, allowing participants to study the selected topics before each match. Davidson's team, comprised largely of sophomores, scored only 20 points in its first match, falling to Baker, but the Warriors redoubled their efforts, later avenging their loss to Baker in the semifinals and defeating Alma Bryant and McGill-Tulane in the finals. 5 points separated the three teams in the final match, with Davidson scoring 32 points to Bryant's 31 and McGill-Tulane's 27. Davidson's team won $2,000 for the school with its victory. Okay, parents, what age is recommended for your child to start reading? Well, that is the question many researchers and educators have been attempting to answer for years. There are hundreds of studies to show early literacy skills are learned and developed prior to a child entering pre-K. So how early should you start your child to read? And what are some of the benefits? Our Crystal Johnson looks into this.
Ball and wall. Very good.
When it comes to starting the educational process, many parents often ask, what is a good age to start teaching their child how to read?
If you look at the brain research, it tells you that the most critical time in a child's development is from birth to 4 years old. So pretty much by 5 years old, all the brain cells that a child will have already been established.
Simply reading to your child can make a difference. Teaching your child to read early has numerous benefits and is vital to your child's academic future. Establishing a good reading foundation for your child leads them to understanding the written word earlier. The sooner they learn how to read, the more books, knowledge, and ideas they will be exposed to.
The earlier children are read to, the more successful they will be as readers. Having that letter knowledge, word recognition, all of that comes from that early lap reading with their parents, and then certainly with their early childhood teachers.
Numerous studies have shown that participating in a high-quality pre-K program is also important. Students who attend such programs are less likely to repeat a grade or need remedial education. Those same students are more likely to be proficient in reading by the 3rd grade, score higher on an achievement test, are more likely to graduate from high school and go on to college and get higher paying salaries as adults.
As a pre-K teacher, it's very important. We're taught that we need to make sure that we establish those, because those kids that don't even go to a pre-K program, a formal pre-K program, those kids are more eligible to drop out of school, to have discipline problems, to have all those negative things that we don't want our children to have. So it's even more important to enroll your child in a pre-K program, a high quality pre-K program, so that you can kind of combat those issues and they can get that foundation to be a good reader.
Since 1988, Mobile County Public Schools has educated more pre-K students than any other district in the state. And with the conversion of 50 more classrooms to Alabama's first-class pre-K, it promises to keep Mobile County at the top. Reporting for Inside Education, I'm Crystal Johnson.
For 9 years in a row, Alabama's first-class pre-K has been ranked #1 in the country for quality. Alabama is one of 4 states in the U.S. to meet all 10 quality benchmarks established by the National Institute for Early Education Research for pre-K programs. 600 third graders sang of freedom and liberty as they pledged to be part of the next great Americans. Students at Booth, Brazier, Collins, Rhodes, Fundy, Morningside, Orchard, and Wilmer Elementary Schools participated in the 10-week Super Citizen program, where they learned valuable lessons in civics, financial literacy, character building, careers, and what their role is as being a citizen of this country. Each class was asked to look for a hero that impacted their lives. The students then presented a Liberty replica statue to their heroes on stage.
I've learned about the immigrants coming to America and learning about being a better citizen and a good citizen.
Well, it's important just because we're all citizens, and being a citizen is a great title. We're all responsible as citizens for continuing to make this country great, and so we need to teach this to our next generation of great Americans.
Among the community members honored as super citizens were a police officer and mentors through Big Brother, Big Sister, a rabbi, and a school custodian. Mobile County Public Schools faculty, staff, and students participated in National Walk at Lunch Day, held at several locations throughout the county. Walk at Lunch is an initiative to encourage its members to improve their health by walking regularly. Walking is one of the easiest and most effective forms of exercising, but finding the time to actually do it can be difficult.
Well, National Walk at Lunch Day is sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, and one thing that it emphasizes is that just 30 minutes of exercise a couple of days a week helps reduce your risk of heart disease and cancer and stroke. And so just getting out for this little bit, it was fun, and it's healthy and good for you.
Superintendent Martha Peak led 150 employees in the walk at Central Office. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
As Alabama's first and largest school system, the Mobile County Public Schools prides itself on the high quality of education we provide our students.
We have been successful over the years in raising our graduation rates
and have been recognized nationally for closing achievement gaps.
We believe that our primary focus is to educate all students to become productive citizens.
This is our commitment to them and to you.
Seniors in Murphy High School's International Baccalaureate program found a unique way to honor the greatest generation recently. As part of their community service project, the students organized a senior prom for residents at Westminster Village Retirement Community in Spanish Fort. About 15 Murphy students pitched in to organize and participate in the event, which was designed to be similar to a high school prom. They spent 2 days decorating the room at Westminster, secured donated foods for that event, sent invitations, and spent the night dancing with the residents to music from the 40s and 50s, as well as a few more contemporary tunes. The residents even voted for a king and queen. Well, that's all the time we have for now. To find out more about our school's news and events, be sure to visit the Mobile County Public School webpage at mcpss.com. Thank you for joining us. Remember, an education can change the world. Have a great day.